NETNG Unfiltered, and today we're going to be discussing substance abuse. And we're just going to be talking about our experiences, what it's like living in a society that's riddled with drugs. That drugs is very prevalent, especially among young adults and with pop culture leaders, or what do they call them? Influences, putting it in everybody's face and living the hedonistic lifestyle of like, is drugs or not? So yeah, I'm Angela Olua, and with me is
Emisi Olua.
Okay, so do drugs necessarily have to be illicit for you to be able to abuse them?
No, I don't think so. Because you mentioned illicit drugs, and personally, I don't think that drugs have to be illicit for them to be drugs. Because drugs become drugs so far you start to abuse them. You know, paracetamol is a healthy drug normally when you have a headache or stuff, but when you start to overly indulge in it, like anytime you have like a headache or something, you just have to use it morning after night, then it becomes substance abuse, and it goes from being a medication to drugs. So yes, I don't think it has to be illicit. It just has to be an abuse
of a particular drug. I think I'm like guilty of that one, because I think there was one time, anytime I have headache, like it's paracetamol too sharp, like we're popping it together, and I feel like I've grown like a resistance to. So when I'm having actual headache now, I cannot even use normal paracetamol. And sometimes even unknowingly, it's not that you're intentional, but you're just having headache. I just want it to go away.
Yeah, and that's why you need to understand that sometimes the headache you have is not because of you probably just need sleep. You probably just need a nap for like 30 minutes, and when you wake up, you realize that you're fine. But once you have that headache, you feel, let me just quickly take paracetamol or something. You need rest, guys, at times.
It's just rest, important. Just a rest. Yeah. Actually, rest. So, first of all, the topic basically is who is responsible for the prevalence in drug abuse? Would we say it's the parents? Would we say it's peer pressure? Or would we say it's celebrities? We know that lately there have been a lot of glorification of like drug abuse and everything. There was this balloon video that was trending one time, and they were singing and they were doing this. Every major celebrity, most of the major celebrities, even the ones that did not used to smoke, you just see them one day, they're already bringing out smoke. So it has become cool, it has become fun, and nobody's really saying, oh, there are limits to things. Everybody's just doing it anyhow.
And no one is saying, what are we really going to do to curb this? No one is even talking about
Thank you. And then I feel like people have gotten a lot more fragile lately. They do not have like as much, what do they call it? A mind of their own.
Resistance.
Yeah. So when young adults just say, maybe this person is doing it, don't let's start mentioning names. Maybe this person is doing it. It's okay for me to be a jawara. So yeah, but what do you think? Do you think that celebrities need to tone it out? Do you think that they have to be role models?
Celebrities are role models.
Okay.
Right? Like with regards to if they should be putting it out there, right, for maybe young adults to see. I don't think so. Right? Because like in this part of the world, I don't think, even as much as there's always adults rated movies, and there's always like, okay, you can put password on, right? We know that children are very curious.
Yeah.
So that thing they are telling them not to do, they always find ways to do it, right? So in this aspect now, like in music videos, in movies, right? I would say that maybe they should cut it down. Right? Maybe I think it's part of the aesthetics. I feel like they can tone it down, or they can censor. So censor can mean blurring it out, right?
But that thing,
exactly, true.
It's the way I feel about those. If you listen to radio, and then they do this thing where they send the bleep. I'm like, are we not going to listen to it on Spotify? That's how it feels like.
True, but I've come to realize that is actually the first step, right? There's a reason why, right? I don't know if you've noticed. I started to notice like late last year, right? There's a reason why maybe you're watching a music video and someone is driving and they have whatever they're drinking in maybe like a carton. And there's a reason why they do that, so that people don't generally think that it's okay to drink and drive, right? Because there are sanctions around that. So you can't do that because they'll ban your video. So you get.
It's not
So
exactly
yes, right. So I feel like that kind of thing also can be
put in place.
yes for like drugs as well.
I actually agree with you in terms of how celebrities, music videos, all those things influence people. I remember that when I was young, like it was just a subconscious effort to pick a paper up and roll it.
Our lights are not to be inside.
I put powder inside and I'll just try it. And when you hear the honk of your dad's car, you just
had something bad.
What now? In retrospect, I'm thinking, how did I ever see that? Like, where did I see it? And now I'm realizing, okay, I probably saw it on TV and all of that. So that's to tell you how much influence those images that you see, like, just has an influence on your subconscious and informs what you do. So I really think that some sanctions could be in place. I don't know how easy that is going to be because there are like 1,000 music videos coming out every day, 1,000 artists out there trying to make music. Like out of 1,000, 900 of them has substance abuse or drug use in them. So how do you go about censoring it, making sanctions? But I really do think, as Shay said, there should be like a sanction to at least curb the number of things that you see that affect you.
But then do you think it's like a resultant effect of like something deeper than just music videos in itself? Because I mean, these people are coming from certain homes, and this thing. There's just a way that I feel like you could make your music video that doesn't necessarily have to be be overly how would you call it,
illicit, But I also think that talking about influencers or celebrities as influencers of drug use is just a part of the whole picture. You mentioned about family, you talked about peer pressure. I think that's much more than celebrities. Peer pressure is a factor. And if there was time, like I could talk more on that from my own experience. So I know that peer pressure
is share your experience.
I also know that peer pressure is like a major, stuff that also proliferates that. And talking about influencers is just a little part of it. Peer pressure, something you've never even seen before on TV. A friend could tell you, come on, let's try it. It doesn't hurt, and then you try it, and then peer pressure is something we need to really talk about. Oche, what do you think? Have you had experience?
So yes, I think like if celebrity influence is maybe like on 20%, peer pressure is like on 80%. With peer pressure,
they are the
like
highest.
So yes, like from my experience, I think, and that has to do with like the major part of my life, right? It has had to do with peer pressure. Like even like let's even digress a little bit into anything other than drugs. Right? If you are seeing your friend, right, maybe shooting content and being successful in shooting content, you also want to try and do shoot content. I don't think there are a lot of us that we truly have been formed like just on our own. Right? It has
people, not a lot of people have a mind of their own, so they're easily influenced.
So like it's true what they say by you are what you are influenced by. Right? So yes, with drugs, with anything generally, like peer pressure as a major part of that. Right? Because I don't know about you, but I grew up in I wouldn't say churchy like home, but I would say it is your typical. It is your typical like African where
Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday.
What people will say, "I'm gonna get inside." Like you dare not, because you, as much as you are trying not to like be disappointment to your parents, you are also fearful that these people can kill you. Like they are your parents, but there's this fear. I don't know if it's just me, but there's just that fear.
When they will disappoint the church members, you will disappoint me. And you've seen the way they deal with other people's children, where they like, wow, I don't even want to.
But let me now tell you the problem. The problem is that being with those kind of parents, for example, doesn't still stop you from being
anybody that wants to be wayward.
Because when you are away and in your own confines, you can do those things you never would do anyway.
To be honest, the reason why very strict parents produce like the most wayward children is because they've confined them so much that they've not told them the reason why you should not do this is because of this. They're just telling them the reason why you're not supposed to do this is because I'm not going to tell you. Just not just know that it is bad.
Yeah.
They will not tell you, okay, this is why you should not do this at this age. You can make a decision when you grow older. Like let me not generalize, but most African parents or Nigerian parents, they never give explanation for anything. They just like, don't do it.
Now let me give you a quick example of how peer pressure affected a friend of mine. So when I was in the US, it could be me, it could be a friend. I don't know. I'm not telling you guys.
Hey, if you see peer pressure,
nah, it's not me, guys. So a friend of mine, they were just in school one afternoon, and the other guy was telling the other guy that he went to smoke marijuana somewhere. So the guy was like, okay, they would go the next day, and he had not tried it before, but it just seemed like something that was fun, like school guys coming around. Let's just do it. Let's try it. So they went. That was the University of Badon. Actually, they went there to one of the hostels, and they were upstairs in one of the rooms, and then he took a drag of that thing. I think 2 drags were there, but because he had not tried it before, if you are going to at least try it first, you should maybe just ration it or something. But because of the whole peer pressure, even them, people that are pressuring you, it's not like they know the gauge you're supposed to have. They are not going to give you the right advice and say, oh, don't try it too much. So they just want you to try it and even expect you to probably have a bad experience and then maybe laugh at you after. So he tried it, and believe me, it was really serious because he went crazy. He went mad.
Went mad.
Yeah, crazy for like 24 hours or so.
God gave him a second.
I'm not even kidding. I'm serious. And then they had to hold him. He got to the security in school at the time, SDC at the time. They had to hold him, take him to the hospital. He even had an injury because when he was in his house, by the time he got to his house, he used his hand to cut, like a Luva blade and all of that.
Yeah,
he didn't feel it because he was high at the time. They had to suture it, everything. It was really serious. So guys, that's how bad peer pressure and drugs can.
They are not.
So anytime I think about drugs, I always think about that guy. Anytime he looks at that guy, I'll just be like, talent killer, fango.
Do you know the funniest part was that the first time I ever actually actively saw somebody smoke weed was in university. I was sitting beside this guy. I feel like I was smoking at that time. I did not know.
Passive smoking, yeah.
Bro, they were smoking. That was when I knew half Bible, full Bible, or whatever Bible. These guys, they would just call it, hey guy, bring full Bible, where they come. Blah, blah, blah. They would smoke. I would not know whether to close window. If I close window, voila. If I open
right beside your room.
Right beside my room. It was so annoying. And then after the smoke, it would not be slow. That's one that used to annoy me. The guy, anytime I remember his
probably
name,
they took something else.
They add something else there. But then it's just always so weird. That was like the first time I actively saw somebody smoke, and I don't think I smoked at that point because the amount of smoke, they were just it was just entering my room. So anytime people say, have you smoked before? And sometimes I have to check the question because I lived beside smokers for like years. And they never used to say, that's all real. They will just be doing it anyhow. So So what was your first experience like? When was the first time you saw somebody smoke or take drugs? Shave, let's start with it.
First experience. Interestingly, I used to think that even the smoke was cigarette. So I didn't think there was, at a very young age, I used to think that, smoke, cigarettes, everything.
That's the only thing.
Right? I did not really know that, it got people in some type of way. At the time, my notion about smoking was people take it to calm themselves or calm their nerves. And there was just this ad.
American films, they are part of the reasons why people think that.
Yes.
Anytime they are mad, they're just just go outside, take a smoke, and then move on.
So at the time, there was this really intense campaign about if you smoke, it burns your lungs and all that. So fast forward to my year one, right? I was in a roommate. I don't want to say bad guys. I want to say, okay, they were not like serious type.
Okay.
Right? So they would usually smoke in the room. I just know that at that time the smell of the smoke was different from cigarette.
Okay.
I didn't just know, I thought it was another maybe type of
cigarette.
I wasn't feeling anything at the time. Yes, I was really whatever, but I wasn't feeling anything. So there was a time I said, you know what, let me come and try this thing. Right? Because at the time I drank alcohol. Then they were doing like too many all parties, like you go drink whatever mix. You don't know what you're drinking. Like,
those mixes, the sticky people.
Yeah. I later got to know that they mix things inside the drink.
Yeah.
I used to think that it was just alcohol and
you just be drinking.
So I had done that, and this comes from somebody that I have not even experienced anything like that. So going to Unilag, all of that, it was okay.
Bro.
Oh, shocking surprise! So yeah, like I decided to try it that day. Right, my first experience. Maybe I wasn't doing it right.
Didn't work.
Yes, I didn't feel nothing.
Oh.
Yes, I didn't feel anything at all. The person that I went to, right, kept on asking, like, how you feel now? How you feel now?
Expecting some outrage, just like
I'm not doing now. I noticed that the guy kept on like looking at me, like
trying to see whether you were now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I was when I went to meet him on my own.
You're just
like,
a good
yeah. I won't try this thing today. So yes, my first experience, I didn't feel anything. I don't think I was doing it right. Right? Or like thinking about it now, I don't think I did it right. Because you are supposed to inhale actually. So I didn't really feel anything. But my second experience, don't do drugs, kid. Yes, yes. My second experience was I was myself, but I was not myself. Right? I was sweating from inside. I did not have control of
what you were doing.
Not like alcohol type, right? But it was, I don't know, like you are not yourself.
You just know that you are not okay.
Yes, I think the major problem with most people is just abusing, right? Because I think there's certain doses that you're supposed to use that will not make you feel that type of way. It was a bad experience for me. I didn't do anything crazy. I didn't cut myself. I didn't.
But then it was not. You were not just okay.
Yes, I was not just okay. I was very uncomfortable.
Yeah. But okay, so for me, I think we're even narrowing it down to marijuana too much.
There are so many
drugs. People take pills.
I'm not saying what I tried.
Try.
Yeah,
I know that there's some people that take pills. Which one is called? This one
Tramadol.
all those tramadol. I saw somebody that took tramadol, and this one was not even for like
medicine.
For it's not medicine. It was not for eccentric purposes. It was because I personally feel like in Lawrence that as students they need like a support group of some sort because I had friends that they were stressed. They were stressed as fuck. So I think that there was this guy. It was during our time. I think it was in 300 or something, and then it was going for practice back to back. So because he maybe needed strength or something.
Tramadol doesn't give strength.
I don't know why he took it, but they said it was related to practice and stuff like that. That's why he took it.
Nah, that's not true.
That's not true. Yeah. So why did I?
He took it because
they said it was related to practice. That's why he took it when he was in South Africa. So it was
strong. It
was not strong. It was
feeling numb to pain.
It wasn't that it was numb to pain. It was rolling. It was, you know, when somebody's bruising themselves.
Yeah, you can't feel it.
And you can't feel it. It was bruising himself.
Wow.
That was scary. So we're like, that it was trying to it was for practice and stuff like that. They were having this back-to-back practice and he needed something to help him, blah, blah, blah. So he took trauma. That was the first time I heard about trauma.
That's drug abuse.
That was the first time I heard about tramadol.
Yeah, that's drug abuse. Because I think naturally tramadol is supposed to help with pain, right?
Yeah.
People,
Yes.
so
But what is
supposed to be.
Is it supposed to make you like aggressive, like want to?
No, like it's you can walk to a pharmacy and
ask for it.
But then if you take too many pills, it becomes like
too many pills. And then it's not supposed to be an over-the-counter drug anyway. It's supposed to be regulated. Like,
but then everything is over the counter.
People who are in the hospital, people who have accidents, for example, and they're in pain, and paracetamol is too much.
That means it's supposed to make you numb.
Yeah, it's supposed to make you help you with pain.
One natural?
So, but the thing is that when it does help you with pain, it induces something else in that. I think maybe it releases more endorphins to you and makes you, maybe happy, or it just has different feelings.
Happy, you're not bruising yourself.
With all the positives or the seeming positives, like it enhances you. It is very bad because when you talk about the positives, it's like, okay, maybe someone is not necessarily glorifying it, but people will take positives from there. But on the long run,
it's actually very
bad because you see that you can't do the normal things that you
are relying so
much on it. Now you can't sleep if you take it for like 2 months straight. After that, you can't sleep normally. You have to take it before you sleep. You can't perform. Maybe you're on a show.
Just be having anxiety.
You can't do anything normally. You can't even read at night. If you've been using drugs to read, you can't read that. You can't do anything again. And then it starts to affect your life because you're not yourself anymore. You start to itch for it, spend money to buy drugs.
It's like your data, even if you don't have money for it.
So it's just how much it affects your life needs to be talked about. It affects your life. It derails people's life so much that you just have to rely on something. And then we need to talk about the ripple effect that it causes to the people around you. Like the effect of drugs does not really affect you. It affects the people around you. It affects your family, it affects your friends.
This might be funny, but then if your parents are very religious, your parents like a pastor or something, and then you just can't even smoking. I think you're going to be receiving Bible teachings.
That's
every day. Their mind is going to be up. Anytime they're preaching on this thing, they're going to be looking at
it. The psychological effect is still fine. How about the actual physical effect it causes to people around you? Because there are people who take drugs and then they are out of their mind and help people around them. So the psychological effect that my son takes drugs, you can still.
That psychological effect can kill them. To be honest, parents can be so deep into these things.
None is better than the other. But the thing is that it's just not advisable.
But how do you think we can curb it? Personally, I feel like the main issue that everybody has always had is the fact that we shield away from talking about things. Every issue that we have in Nigeria, or maybe all over the world, is the fact that people do not necessarily, parents or decisions say, okay, this is what is happening in the world. This is how people would normally do it. Or I advise that you do it this way because of so and so. These are the positives, these are the negatives. At this age, it will not be advisable for you to do this, but when you grow older, when you see how it affects other people, then you can make your decision. I feel like if you just entrust and explain situations, big situations like substance abuse or sexual assault or things like that to your children in simple ways. You know what this thing that people say on Twitter, like explain it to me like I'm a 7-month-old child or like I'm a 1-year-old child. Just do those type of things. Everything is stigma in Nigeria out. If you want to do they will not talk about it or they'll rather die. If you are watching, those say rated 18, rated 16. If there's a movie of somebody kissing on the TV, all of you will be getting yourself. You'll be getting yourself. Nobody will mention it. How can you move on from that? Everybody will face for it. Nobody will have a conversation with you. I mean, their parents are actually liberal now and they have this conversation. But most of the time, everybody's just going to be bullied. So what do you think can actually be done to actually curb these things and make substance abuse at least reduce to a great extent?
I think the first step is to accepting that drug abuse is not going to stop today. It's not going to stop tomorrow. It's not going to stop next year or in a decade time. That's the first step. Right? Then we can talk about, creating awareness. Right? I think there's this thing that NTN is doing.
MTN is up.
Yes. I recently worked on the project
Yeah.
right? And I wouldn't say that it is stopping it, but it is
Sensitizing
Yes.
young adults.
yes, right? And which is a very good thing,
Mm-hmm.
right? There are people that will see what they are doing and they will have a think about their life,
Yeah.
right? And say, you know what, I really don't want to do this.
And most
Yeah.
times
Right.
it's for like children between like 10 to 25. So it's in their first stages. They are doing quiz competitions,
Yeah.
they are doing advocacy works, they are doing conferences, and they're even teaching teachers how to deal with these children, how to do this. So
Yeah.
there's like a lot of learning going on, and to sensitize young adults, to
Exactly.
sensitize the teachers themselves that are handling these people. So it's like great stuff.
Yeah, I was going to just quickly buttress what it was saying. I think it was last year that same NETNG campaign, drug campaign, that they recruited a couple of celebrities. I think David Jones.
David Jones,
was part of them.
he released one song like that.
Yeah,
one time
David Jones had always been an advocate for
Drug.
against drug abuse, and so it was good to see him
Oh,
now
yeah.
join the campaign and everything with his music, even on his social media. He's always
Yeah.
advocating against it, and so I think that's a really good one from them.
I think last year they did like one word poetry kind of spoken words thing like that. It was really nice.
Oh, okay.
It was really nice to see.
So yeah, that's really good. If other like people or other institutions or organizations can take a cue from there and also make it like a social responsibility,
Yeah.
like then it would be nice. But like you said, I also think that charity begins from home, and even though charity has begun from home, it still needs to get some depth over distance in terms of how parents relate with their children. They just tell you, my fast guy, But you're not telling me why. Why should I do it? You're just telling me to not do this thing. But
It
why?
makes me go say, oh, okay, so.
Yeah, I want to go and try it and say, okay, let me even see this thing.
Oh
but,
yeah, did I die?
You can talk about it like, okay, don't do it because this is this. Explain to them.
You're not playing Mount Zion.
Explain, talk to them about it. Have like a one-on-one conversation with them and handle it better. I feel like it would because now when you go out there and you see people trying it, you already know the effect.
You have a why.
Yeah, you have a reason.
You're not just saying, I'm not taking drugs because my mom said I should not do it.
You
actually have a informed decision on why you are not taking drugs.
So even if those people tell you, come and try this thing, you know the reason why. You're not going to say, no, my mom said so.
I'm not just interested.
I'm not doing it, So I also think that's also a way to go.
Yeah.
And then talking about celebrity influencers, we already talked about how Epton, recruited David Jones. So I also think that's also a way to, rehabilitate, people's, opinion. Because if celebrities are influencing us to take drugs, for example, then why can't we use celebrities to also reimagine that influence or something on us? And that's also another way that I think
there are a lot of myths that need to be debunked in like the creative industry of you needing drugs to actually be creative.
Yeah.
To be honest, you are actually creative. You are just not wanting to put the effort to be actually creative. You don't need drugs to be creative. So basically, we've talked about everything that we want to talk about on substance abuse, how it affects people, how peers can affect people, how celebrities can affect people. Our parents, at the end of the day, are the ones that have the job to do because, you have to build a child that has a strong mind for them to grow into adults that think of responsibilities like that. And now, at the end of the day, there are still going to be people that are going to abuse drugs. You can never really eradicate, but then you can increase to a great extent. Reduce to a great extent. Just remember, there are plenty of things that happen to people that abuse drugs. There are health risks. There are mental implications, physical implications. There are people that actually go dry from.
Yeah, there are people who before they were healthy and all of a sudden
they just look emaciated and everything.
Scrawny and everything. It just changes your physical look.
Forget that people are releasing 8 singles because they smoke 18 or 2. You can release your 8 singles and not smoke 18 or 2. Chicken what? I don't want to mention names, but you understand. But anyway, that's all we have on today's episode. We hope you enjoyed it, and just tell us, what was your first drug experience like, and why are you not going back to substance abuse again? Why are you saying, after that happened, and I almost died. This is why I'm not going back again. So yeah, it was nice time with you all, and my name is still Angela Olua, and
I remain Ibisi.
I remain Shay.
Bye.
Bye guys.